Sometimes, betrayal doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with shouts, it doesn't leave visible marks. Instead, it hides in the everyday, in small gestures, in uncomfortable silences. It's an energy you can feel, but one that's rarely easy to explain. Have you ever had someone by your side who seems friendly, but deep down, something inside you tells you they're not to be trusted? Have you felt that subtle discomfort, that sensation in your chest that whispers that behind a smile, something darker might be hiding? Carl Jung, one of the greatest explorers of the human mind, spoke of the shadow. That hidden side of ourselves, the one we deny, the one we repress, but that inevitably manifests. And when a person harbors envy, resentment, or contempt, they will try to hide it, but never completely. The signs are there. They're subtle, almost imperceptible, but once you know them, it's impossible not to see them. Today, I'll reveal some unmistakable signs that someone close to you secretly hates you, even if they do everything to disguise it. Be careful with the last one, because it's the most insidious of all and could completely change the way you see certain people. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on content about personal growth and spirituality. Now then, let's begin. The first sign is contempt disguised as irony. Words can be weapons, and some are as sharp as blades. Sometimes, contempt doesn't manifest with direct insults or obvious aggression. It doesn't need to raise its voice or throw hateful glances. It hides behind something much more subtle, irony. You've probably met someone who constantly makes biting comments disguised as humor. Small phrases loaded with double meanings that leave you with a strange feeling, as if something inside you is churning. Oh, are you going to try that? Well, good luck with that. Don't take it the wrong way, it's just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. But there's something in their tone, in their gaze, in the way they say it, that doesn't sound like a joke. Carl Jung explained that the shadow, that hidden part of the personality, is projected onto others in subtle and unconscious ways. And when someone feels contempt, frustration, or envy, they rarely express it openly. Instead, they hide it in sarcastic comments, disguising their true feelings with a veil of humor. Irony may seem harmless, but if a person repeats the same comments over and over about the same aspects of your life, it's a sign that behind their words lies hidden contempt. Pay attention to how you feel after hearing their words. If their jokes always leave you with a sense of discomfort, humiliation, or doubt, it's not just humor, it's disguised aggression. And the most dangerous thing about this strategy is that it's designed to make you doubt yourself. If you ask them why they do it, they'll respond with phrases like, "Don't exaggerate, it's just a joke. You're too sensitive. You don't know how to play the game." This way, they make the guilt fall on you, when in reality, what they're doing is covering up their own hostility. Repeated hurtful jokes, constant sarcasm about the same topics, and irony aimed at belittling you are not humor, they're a form of contempt hiding in plain sight. If you feel someone around you acts this way, trust your intuition. It's not your imagination. You're not being too sensitive. What you're perceiving is real. The second sign is hidden sabotage. When someone close to you feels threatened by your growth or success, they may, instead of supporting you, try to subtly and hard to detect ways to hinder you. Sabotage isn't always obvious or direct. It doesn't come with an open denial or frontal attacks. Instead, it hides behind misleading advice, omissions of information, and small, accidental mistakes that, when accumulated, end up harming you. A friend who forgets to tell you about an important event. A coworker who accidentally gives the wrong key date. A family member who accidentally interferes with your plans at the last moment. Small actions that, seen individually, may seem like simple oversights, but when repeated frequently and always at crucial moments, it's time to ask yourself, is it really a mistake, or is there something more behind it? Carl Jung explained that when a person can't deal with their own frustrations and failures, their shadow is projected onto others. This means that, instead of taking responsibility, they unconsciously try to sabotage you to avoid feeling inferior. This form of sabotage is especially dangerous because it's discreet and hard to confront. If you question the person doing it, their response will likely be, "It was a simple misunderstanding, don't take it the wrong way." Don't exaggerate, you're seeing things where there aren't any. Their strategy is to sow doubt in you, to make you think the problem lies in your perception and not in their actions. But the key to recognizing hidden sabotage is repetition. If you notice that a person constantly interferes with your progress, that there's always a mistake at the wrong moment, that every important step you take seems to encounter a casual obstacle, trust your intuition. Coincidences exist, but not that many. The third sign is silent competition. Maybe it's happened to you. You share good news with someone close, and instead of celebrating with you, they shift the conversation to themselves. Not bad, though I know someone who did even better. Well, but it's not really that impressive, anyone could do it. At first, it might seem normal. After all, everyone wants to share their experiences. But if this happens repeatedly, if every achievement of yours is followed by a story about how they did something bigger, faster, or harder, it's time to ask yourself, why does every conversation turn into a competition? Silent competition is dangerous because it's not expressed through open confrontations. It hides in constant comparisons, in small phrases that seek to diminish what you've accomplished, in that need to make it clear that you're not better than them. Carl Jung explained that the projection of the shadow makes many people unable to bear seeing in others what they themselves cannot develop. They won't tell you they feel envy. They won't admit that your success makes them uncomfortable. But you'll notice it in how they rush to talk about themselves, in how they try to make your moments stop being yours. And here's something key, no matter what you achieve, it will never be enough for them. If today you accomplish something incredible, tomorrow they'll seek to surpass it. Not because they want to grow, but because they need to prove they're still above you. The question is, are you going to keep giving them that power? The fourth sign is superficial support. Some people mask their discomfort towards others with a neutral attitude, which at first glance doesn't seem negative, but over time reveals a lack of genuine connection. When someone doesn't want to see you grow, their rejection isn't always direct. There are no arguments, no obvious criticisms, just a constant void in the moments that truly matter. When a problem arises, their response is to minimize it with empty phrases or avoid getting involved. Their help never comes or is given mechanically, without real interest. In moments of success, the enthusiasm is forced or non-existent. A few words without real emotion, a reaction lacking energy, a sudden change of topic as if what just happened doesn't matter. Their presence is occasional, their support is distant, and their interest in what happens to you seems almost null. This type of behavior becomes evident when repeated in key situations. There's no commitment, no real joy for your achievements or empathy for your difficulties. Their attitude reflects something deeper, an emotional disconnection that prevents any genuine bond. Carl Jung described ego dissociation as a mechanism in which some people disconnect from others because seeing them advance makes them uncomfortable. Instead of expressing their frustration, they choose a neutral stance, avoiding confrontation while silently distancing themselves. True support isn't measured by words, but by consistent actions. Those who truly value a relationship will be present, not just in difficult moments, but also in the victories that deserve to be celebrated. As we move through these hidden signs, it's time to talk about one of the hardest to detect: control disguised as care. There are people who, under the guise of protecting you, seek to direct your life, telling you what to do, invalidating your decisions, and constantly questioning your judgment. Their goal isn't to guide you, but to make you dependent on their approval. The dangerous thing is that their influence isn't imposed harshly, but with seemingly well-intentioned words. They present themselves as advisors, as people who only want the best for you, but every help they offer leaves you feeling insecure instead of confident. A revealing sign is how you feel after each interaction with them. If instead of feeling supported you feel more doubtful of yourself, if every piece of advice makes you question your own ability instead of strengthening you, then it's not support, it's manipulation. Carl Jung said that the desire to control others stems from fear of one's own internal chaos. Those who can't face their own uncertainty seek to govern the external world to feel in control. But no one should direct your life more than yourself. True help empowers, it doesn't chain. The sixth sign, the poison of rumors and veiled criticism. Not everyone who feels resentment towards you expresses it openly. Instead of confronting you directly, they choose to act in the shadows, spreading criticism disguised as innocent opinions and distorting the truth until it becomes a weapon against you. The most dangerous thing about this behavior is its subtlety. You won't always realize what's happening right away. But over time, the signs begin to appear, changes in the attitude of those around you, unexplained distancing from some people, evasive glances, or conversations that stop when you arrive. Gossip and veiled criticism are powerful tools for those who feel envy or frustration. They slowly undermine your reputation, not with direct attacks, but with insinuations and exaggerations that sow doubt in others. Carl Jung explained that the tendency to discredit others is, in reality, a projection of one's own insecurities. Those who feel inadequate seek to compensate for their void by belittling those who represent what they cannot be. In other words, when someone speaks ill of you, they're actually revealing much more about themselves than about you. The antidote to this poison isn't to fight every rumor, but to live with integrity. The truth always finds a way to come to light, and time puts everyone in their place. As we move through these hidden signs, we come to one that reveals a lot about the true intentions of those around you, the lack of joy at your achievements. People who truly value you celebrate your successes as if they were their own. They genuinely rejoice when you reach a goal and share your enthusiasm. However, those who harbor feelings of envy or disguised competition find it hard to hide their discomfort when you succeed. You'll notice it in their cold reactions, dry responses, or attempts to divert the conversation. Instead of congratulating you enthusiastically, they react with disinterested phrases like, "Oh, that's nice, it's not that big a deal," or even try to compare themselves, "I did something similar a while ago." Their discomfort isn't always evident, but it manifests in how they downplay what you've achieved. Carl Jung explained that the inability to rejoice in others' success is a reflection of unresolved internal conflicts. For some, seeing others thrive reminds them of their own limitations and failures. They can't celebrate with you because your success confronts them with what they haven't achieved. These feelings often come to light through subtle but hurtful comments. "Well, you could have done better. It's not that impressive. Anyone could do it." These phrases aren't simple opinions, but attempts to minimize what you've accomplished so they don't feel lesser in comparison. If someone around you shows signs of discomfort instead of joy when things go well for you, they might not really be on your side. But remember, your worth doesn't depend on their approval. Celebrate your triumphs with those who truly appreciate them and keep moving forward without looking back. We've reached the last sign, the one that's rarely expressed in words but hides in gestures, looks, and silences. Hidden hatred doesn't always manifest through insults or direct criticism. Often, it slips into the most subtle, a smile that doesn't reach the eyes, a sudden change in tone, a glance that avoids yours at the precise moment. Many people can fake it with words, but the body rarely lies. A slight stiffness in the hands when you mention an achievement, a slower blink when they try to congratulate you, or a laugh that sounds forced can be signs that what they're saying doesn't match what they truly feel. Carl Jung explained that the unconscious and the body always reveal the truth, even when the mind tries to hide it. The reason is simple: the conscious mind can build a convincing mask, but body language still responds to authentic emotions. If you feel discomfort in someone's presence, if their energy seems charged with tension, even if their words are kind, pay attention to those signs. Detecting these clues requires sensitivity and observation. Words can deceive, but nonverbal language rarely hides what the heart truly feels. Trust what you perceive, because the truth lies in the details. Now that you know these signs, it's your choice what to do with this information. You can ignore them or use them to protect your energy, set boundaries, and surround yourself with people who truly add to your life. Because the truth is, you don't need anyone's validation to keep moving forward. Your path, your achievements, and your happiness shouldn't depend on those who can't celebrate your success or support you sincerely. If this video has been useful to you, subscribe to the channel, join our private community, and leave a super thanks to keep supporting this content. Share this video with someone who needs to know this. See you in the next video.